Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am ashamed of what I have done, but I feel that I need to confess so as to cleanse my soul of the burden that I have been carrying. My name is Name Hidden. I am a 53-year-old woman currently living in Harare. It was in the year 2016. This was the turning point in my life, the year when jealousy overtook my better judgment and led me down a path of darkness that I can never fully escape. And also, I want to give a piece of advice to the young women that are out there. When you get married to your husband, you still need to know that your husband has a family. And even if the family members do not like you, but as someone who is being brought into the family, try by all means to remain calm, because once you start to hate on your husband's relatives, they will always keep it in their heart. For many, many years, I had been keeping that in my heart, because when my brother got married, then the woman whom she got married to, she openly told me that she did not like me after we had questioned some of the things that she used to do. Later on in life, that was when I thought that I finally got the opportunity to get back at her. When I bewitched her son, it was not because I wanted to bewitch her son. I just wanted to get back at her, and this was my own opportunity to revenge her. So my brother's son, whom I'll call Tinashe, not his real name, was always the pride of our family. He was a brilliant young man. He was on top of his class throughout his schooling. He was really bright. I do not want to lie to you. And he had earned a full scholarship to study at Stellenbosch University there in South Africa, where the parents were working. I remember how the entire family celebrated when he received an offer whilst he was still at university to work for a multinational company. And it was like a dream come true for him, and everyone expected that he would lift our family name to new heights. But whilst everyone was happy for him, I was consumed by jealousy, because I knew that the mother, she would be gossiping behind our backs, because she used to say that she was much more educated than we were, much more educated than her own husband, my brother. And at that time, my own daughter, who I'll call Rumbi, not her real name, she was struggling in life. She had not excelled in school and was barely managing to get by. The comparison between her and Tinashe, it was just too much for me to bear, and they were the same age. They were more like twins. The more that I thought about it, the more the bitterness grew in my heart. I said, why should Tinashe have everything whilst my daughter has nothing? It did not seem fair at all. In my desperation, I turned to the only solution that I thought could help. I had heard about this other woman who was a witch. I had heard stories of her, how she had used dark magic to transfer someone's success to another. I then became obsessed with that idea. I then traveled to her village. She then took me to this other mountain called Ngomakurira, a place that is known for its powerful healing, and also it is said that it is a forbidden mountain. I went there with the help of that woman. So this woman went with me, and she asked me if it was possible if I could get something that belonged to Tinashe. This is the part where most of the people need to know that someone might bewitch you today using your own personal item that you would have forgotten at their house like a very long time ago. So this woman, when she had came to Zim with her husband once, so she had left one of the t-shirts that belonged to her son. At that time, I think that her son was somewhere around 10 to 12 years. He was still quite young. So I had been keeping that old t-shirt for a very long time. waiting for the perfect opportunity. I took one of that t-shirt and I then performed the ritual. So the ritual that we performed, we bought a beer bottle, and then I was told that I had to write his name on that beer bottle. So we wrote the name on that beer bottle, and then we went to that mountain. When we went into that mountain, we arrived at this other place where she said that there is a sacred tree, and I was supposed to kneel down close to that sacred tree. Then I started to chant. The Sangoma told me that whilst I was doing that, then his destiny was going to be transferred from him to my daughter, and she was going to become very successful in his place. And so it happened. After that ritual, that was when we had all of the things that he was doing there in Cape Town. It seemed as if his life was taking a downward spiral. He started struggling with his studies, eventually dropping out of university. He fell into bad company and he became addicted to drugs there in Cape Town. His bright future vanished. He lost everything that he had worked hard for. And then the parents, since they are staying in Johannesburg, then they brought him to Johannesburg when they had heard that he was now a drug addict who was homeless in Cape Town. Meanwhile, my daughter, the moment that I heard the news that he was now a drug addict who was staying in the streets, that was when my daughter's fortune improved. She suddenly received a scholarship to study in China, and now she is doing really well, thriving in her studies and with promising prospects. But the cost of her success has weighed heavily on me. Every day I see Tinashe's lives in ruins, and guilt eats away at me. I know that I am the one who is responsible for his downfall. I stole his future for the sake of my daughter, and most of the times I ask myself, at what cost? My brother and his wife, they are broken, unable to understand how their brilliant son ended up as a lost soul in the streets of Cape Town. And now we heard that he is homeless again. He has ran away from home and he is in Johannesburg with his parents, but they don't know exactly where he is. He's just a drug addict. I see the pain whenever I speak with my brother over the video chats that we are always doing. Most of the times I tell myself that I regret what I did, but that a traditional healer told me that if I was going to leave that bottle that was full of alcohol in that cave at Ngoma Korira, this meant that my brother's son was forever going to be an addict, quick to be addicted to alcohol and also to be addicted to drugs. So for me to reverse that case, what I need to do is that I have to go back to Ngoma Korira and I have to take that bottle and break it. By the time that I will be breaking it, then it will mean that I'll be breaking his spirit free. And once I do that, then it means that all the bad luck that had been following my daughter, who is now studying in China, it means that she will start to face the same challenges that she had been facing all of her life. So with the way that my daughter is excelling in life, I do not want to ruin her chances at life. That is why I think that it is far much better that this boy just suffer because of what her mother did to us as a family. This is my own story, Brother Nashi. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. That was the translation of that message that was sent to me.